Hey, this is Justin Nozuka, and this is Project Rhythm Seed.
Was there a determining moment in your life you said, I want to be a musician?
Yeah, for sure, man. There was that moment where I was used to play hockey all the time when I was younger, and I wanted to be in the NHL growing up. So I used to play all the time, and there was one point when a teammate of mine, I used to carpool with a bunch of guys, and we used to always carpool together. And the radio would be on, and one day this guy named Sean started singing to the radio, and I felt something inside, and it was jealousy, and I was very jealous that he was singing, and I remember making fun of him the next day for singing, and I just was making fun of him, because I had this feeling inside of me, and then eventually he talked about this artist named Joey, who was a Canadian artist, and so I got his CD and I started listening to it, and then I started singing. And I started singing in the car, and I started singing all the time. And I learned all the songs on the radio, and it just became this thing. And everyone would tell me to stop singing, like my brothers and sisters, because I was singing all the time in the car and stuff. And on the ice when I was playing hockey. And then it just became my thing, I just always sang from that moment on. I was actually going to an art school. And this one teacher in particular, so we got extra funding from the government. And in Toronto, in Canada. And there's this teacher, his name was Mr. Vieira. And he was very talented, and he was the reason why everything was organized and how people, learnt the songs that we were to sing as a choir and stuff. He would go through the tenor parts, the bass parts, all the different parts and the sections, and make sure that we get it. He was a teacher for that purpose. And to the board, to the people funding him, they didn't really understand why they were paying for this one teacher to come in. They didn't really, they're kind of in an office, and they see it that way, and they were gonna cut his check out. They weren't gonna pay him anymore, so he wouldn't have a job at the school. And so we came together as a class, actually as a whole school, in the music section of the school, because it's an art school, the music theater section. And we came together and we said, we have to find a way to let them know that we need Mr. V here in order to continue with the kind of work that we're doing, So we put together a song, and we put together speeches and what we were going to tell them and how we were going to show them. We're going to show them a number that we did from Mr. V, and also talk and explain his role in the whole process of, why we're able to perform these kind of pieces and do these kinds of things. And then we went to the board and we sang for them, and we told them, we spilled our hearts out, and then they understood it, and they said, okay, there, we understand now, and they continued to pay him after that. Yeah, actually he helped me out a lot during the first process of because I had just finished my first album while I was at school. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I gave him the album, and he gave me a lot of great advice.
First of all,
The one that's out now is You, I, Wind, Land, and Sea. This one was recorded in a place called Parry Sound, which is north of Toronto. It's about 3 hours north. And we recorded in this beautiful space, this beautiful cottage kind of house right next to the lake. And we spent 2 weeks as a band there. And it's my first album that I did with my band. Because on the first album, like I said, I was in high school and I didn't have a band at that point. I didn't have really anything. I was just kind of starting out. And for this next one, I had a band, and we had toured for a few years. And so I got together with the same producer, Bill Bell, and we spent 2 weeks at the cottage, and we just recorded, and getting the songs and feel the songs down. Yeah, much better. I mean, now we have a studio set up in the back lounge, and yeah, in the bus, and that's new. That's a new thing. Yeah, it's really, man, it's really, it's perfect. It's perfect.
so you're using it a lot?
We're using it. Yeah, we're using it. I think we're on our fourth song now, and we're just getting ideas down. But there's some vocal takes and some moments that we can keep, and get an idea of what the song's gonna feel like, and get comfortable with the song, so that when we get time to record it, it's all ready, and and we've already kind of worked through the kinks and worked through what the song is about and how it should be done, So in Europe we're doing really well. So we're gonna go to Europe and we're gonna play there. Do some touring in Europe, and then I'm gonna go to Australia for the second time and do some touring there with an artist named Xavier Rudd, who's really special to me. And then we'll see what happens. Really, if things kind of feel right to record the second album at that point. After we finish the year, then we'll do the or the third album. Sorry, we'll start recording the third album, and if not, then if things start to allow us to continue to tour, then we'll just continue touring. Yeah.